Real weird thing to be holding life and death in your hand. So many of y'all have watched the other account I got, and I was talking about us wanting to have a child. And so I talked with my doctor, and we went with HCG, human chorionic gonadotrophic, and it's got a trade name. But we're going to run it at 500 IUs for 5 days and off for 2 days. And that's going to, and I was aware of this, that's going to stimulate some of the cells that are going to produce more active swimmers, right? You know, because I have mine are, you know, we just need some help. Appreciate the prayers. So, long story short, I went to my mom and I had asked her because I had given her some insulin syringes, right? And when I went to the pharmacy, they tried to give me a very large syringe, like a 3cc syringe. And the problem with that is that it comes in 10,000 IUs, and you get bacteriostatic water to come with it. And then you dilute it to whatever you want to use it as. And so I chose to put the full 10 cc's in it. That made it 1,000 units a cc. And so I'd only draw like 50 units or a half a cc. And so the tool I was needing is an insulin syringe. And my mom had them because I'd given them to her. I didn't want to think that was weird, because my mom, a few times in my life, would go behind me and pick up my loaded syringe. That's embarrassing. And it wasn't with HCG. All right. Very painful for her to watch and see. All right. Because I would go around the house looking for it, acting like I wasn't looking at nothing. Right. And so this morning, I caught myself in this morning, and I went and pulled the 500 IUs back, and you inject it subcutaneous in your gut or wherever you want to go. And I was sitting there holding that syringe, and I was thinking about it, that at one time that this thing held all the control in my life. Like, unimaginable. It was the controller of my future, of my relationships, of my life, of my health, of my sex, everything. This little orange thing, right? It was the creation and author of Jason's death, right? And I'm holding it, right? And I'm thinking, for one split second, I thought, and then I was like, man, that is evil. Right? But at the same token, the same tool I used to sit down in hours and jab myself in my neck and my throat, my hands and my fingers and other parts of my body to try to get what I needed so I could get adjusted and be high. That same tool was now the promise of us maybe having a child. And that blew me away. That something that once was so destructive to me now held so much promise. And it looks the same. Same size. Same cap. Well, standard 100. And when you really think about it, how could something like that be? I just want to remind you this today, that in my life and in other people's lives, that syringe is a lot like the power of God in your life, in my life, because that thing used to own me. I mean, you can't imagine. I was its slave. And then God got a hold of me, and I got a hold of myself. And I had to go through some tough things, and I'm probably going to go through some tough things again, but it won't be that. And I'm now holding a syringe that's offering life for me and my family. And I just like to give God credit for that, because I didn't have to go bouncing on a spoon. I didn't have to jab myself over and over again. I didn't really even have that thought. Right? It had transformed from something that for 3 decades would own me. Until now, simply a tool to inject in a stopper, pull out, inject myself, and then properly dispose of. But the promise of what it could bring. It didn't bring no more offers of prison, sexual weirdo stuff, or losing cars and trucks and babies. No. Only God can make it where it was promising life again. And that really impacted me this morning, that it is possible. All right. Because I was so hung up on it, for real. So hung up on it. So trapped. And I'd like to say thank you, Lord. And if you're going through that, you hung up on that needle, man, I get it. Boy, man, I get it. 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 Right? I get it. But if you can get away from it, God will put it in your life when the next time you pick one up, it'll be for good. It'll bring life. Fluent English. What's up? So, a little house cleaning. This is my account. I have another account called Jason with the Veterans as well. Same person. And I would be greatly honored if you would take the time to follow Missy Loves the Felon. That is my wife. And of course, all the great things that come with that. She has a lot of good things she's fixing to pop off with. A different angle, a different view than what you get from me, for sure.